Before addiction existed, there was abandonment. Before compulsive behavior, there was absence. Before substance abuse, there was pain. A pain that did not know how to name itself, but screamed in the silence of the body. And that is where we need to start. At the beginning of the wound. Because no one is born addicted. Addiction is an adaptation, a creative response of the psyche to an unbearable reality. Gabor Maté is incisive in stating, "The opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it is connection." And this statement carries a disconcerting truth. Most addicted individuals are not seeking pleasure, but relief. Relief from chronic loneliness, from feelings of inadequacy, from the anguish of not feeling loved, seen, or belonging. And this pain rarely begins in adulthood. It is born in childhood, in the early years of life, often even before we can talk about it. Science shows that the early years of development profoundly shape the human brain. A child's nervous system organizes itself based on the emotional experiences it receives. If it grows surrounded by love, acceptance, and emotional presence, its brain develops circuits of safety, trust, and regulation. But if it grows in an environment of neglect, instability, abuse, or emotional coldness, those same circuits become dysfunctional. The child learns that the world is not safe, and worse, it learns that its pain will not be cared for. But trauma is not limited to major events. One does not need to have suffered physical violence or explicit abuse to be traumatized. What constitutes trauma is the subjective experience of helplessness. It is when the emotional system is overwhelmed by something it cannot process, and that remains frozen in the body. And that is where addiction comes in, as an attempt to regulate what has never been regulated. Imagine addiction as an emotional prosthesis. It arises where containment was lacking, where there was no nurturing, where there was no listening. It offers what the inner child pleaded for and did not receive: relief, control, comfort.